Yes, we are back. Greeny and The Cheese in the Paddock F1. It's Saturday night, and we are ready to rock and roll because we are starting and beginning the 2022 season after what feels like an eternity off. And with the beginning of the 2022 season comes, that's right, our bets. We got a lot to bet on. We got a lot to gamble on. Besides Greeny Bucks, we do a annual betting, which is I'm sorry. First, we're going to take a look at the constructors. We're going to go through our top 10 constructors, top to bottom. If I had a crystal ball, I can probably tell a lot of what Cheese was going to pick. Anything away after today. No Homer, of course.
No, of course not. Not at all.
But you want to start with 10 and go to 1?
I was going to say we'll go from bottom to top. You just want me to rattle off my 10?
No, let's start. Give me your number 10, and I'll give you my number 10.
Williams.
All right, I agree. Williams. Next.
Alfa Romeo.
I disagree. I got Alfa Romeo 8. I got Aston Martin 9. They look like such trash.
I got the reverse. I have Aston Martin at 8.
All right. Not too many arguments there. I mean, I don't think that's a massive difference. So who do you have at 7 then?
I have Haas at 7.
As do I, sir. You've come to the light.
They have looked impressive. The car looks settled. It has a lot of similarities to the Ferrari. When you kind of look at the car, there's a lot of similarities to the Ferrari design. So, I mean, they spent the Mazepin's money well. That's all I got to say. Not developing their at all last year and putting everything towards this year's car. It's been impressive so far. We'll see about reliability, but from what I've seen, I'm gonna give them the 7.
Yeah, I agree.
Definitely gonna get some points this year.
I agree. Definitely might get more points tomorrow than they have all last season. So very, very excited for that. We'll see what happens.
You must be ecstatic.
I'm trepidatious. I'm obviously ecstatic that we're not just coming in, losing out Q1 and it's a joke, and you're trailing a second and a half to 2.5 seconds per lap. So at least they'll be competitive. At least it's turned back the clock to the days of Romain Grosjean. But yeah, it's exciting.
They brought back K-Mag, so
it's exciting. It's exciting, and K-Mag looks better than he did 3 years ago with Haas. So it's exciting. It's exciting. We'll see what happens. I mean, obviously you want to see improvement, and this is definitely an improvement already. So it's exciting. I mean, but you can't start any lower than no points for the entire season. So it's so bad.
Only way you can go is up, sir.
Only way you can go is up when you're at the bottom of the barrel. So here we go. Number 6. Who you got?
I have AlphaTauri.
Yeah, I agree. I
do not trust Yuki Tsunoda. That's pretty much what I got there. I have Alpine 5. I trust Ocon more than I trust Tsunoda. And you can basically say, Fernando and Pierre can be like a wash almost, but who do you trust scoring more points? I trust Ocon over Tsunoda. So that's basically why I have that. Why I have them for that reason right there.
Yeah, like I said in the intro, Yuki was like, how do I say? I mean, he was so bad in practice.
You said trash is what you said. So you said garbage trash. So you really went to town there. We're pretty harsh there in the opening. So we all know your thoughts on that.
I said it because of most of his points came at the beginning of the season last year. He was strong at the beginning of the season and kind of the last 15 races now, I mean, he's been no good. Plus all the red flags last year, plus everything that happened just in practice. If you watched practices so far, or just Bahrain practice, he was in people's way. He was not in his racing line. It's kind of an amateur show a little bit, and he's showing his age. And he started off maybe at a deeper concentration, and he was in a different place this time last year because he scored points, I believe, last year at Bahrain. So, and this year he can't even get out of Q1 in the same track in potentially a slightly better car. So it's interesting. It's interesting, but we'll see what happens. But I think AlphaTauri, I think he'll still score some points, but I would have put an AlphaTauri a little higher if it wasn't for Yuki's troubles. I think
who do you have 5? I agree 100%.
5, I have McLaren at 5.
Oh.
I have McLaren at 5.
Oh.
And I actually had McLaren at 5 before watching qualifying today. I made some adjustments after qualifying today, but not many. And McLaren's been 5. And I'm assuming you have Alpine 5, but I'll let you
yes,
speak
I
for
did.
yourself. All right, so you have Alpine
yes,
5. I have McLaren 5. I think they've lost a step. I think there's something rotten in the waters there at McLaren, and I don't know what's going on, but between McLaren and Mercedes, there's something going on, and I don't know what it is. And hopefully, or maybe they can vet it out as the season goes on, but definitely not a good start for either of those teams. And there's a lot of resistance and a lot of good driving and a lot of more experience. We see a much more solid field from year over year, from 21 to 22, with a lot of the drivers sticking together and being more cohesive and working with their engineers and their team, becoming more of a team and more of a family. That's a big part of this. That's a big part of this. Those of you who watch Drive to Survive, you know, that team and that element of everyone working together and working as a cohesive unit. So having a lot of teams with the same drivers, you know, of last year, Ferrari, Red Bull, Alpine, McLaren, AlphaTauri, you know, Aston Martin, you know, all those teams with the 2 drivers coming back and very solid, similar teams. A lot of competition out there, a lot of competition, and I think McLaren's in trouble. And I think Alpine's taking big steps forward. I think Fernando Alonso, the ageless Fernando, who I'm going to skip ahead and I'm going to tell you that I have Alpine in 4th. So I'm assuming you have McLaren 4,
Yes.
Alpine 5,
Yes,
and I have the opposite.
Yes.
Okay. Very interesting. We'll see how that all pans out. Any comments about both Alpine and McLaren that have you putting them in the places they do?
Well, right now McLaren looks like trash, but it's an older team. It's an old classic team. They'll get their stuff together and figure some stuff out. I mean, they definitely Danny missing all of the second preseason testing definitely set him back on the back foot, and then you throw in the water leak that, you know, set him back further. So you weren't expecting a lot there to begin with going in. Lando did throw it. I think it was Q1. He was in the top 10 there for, I think he had a 6th or 7th quickest time. So there is something there. They're definitely not on the realm of Ferrari, Red Bull, or even they're not even to the Merc right now. They also have the Merc power plant. That looks like it's definitely not the power plant that it has been in the past currently. Looks like there's a little bit of a step back there. So that could be something with it. But I mean, there's work to do. I think they'll get it. Alpine has definitely looked more impressive since the second testing than they did the first. The first testing was an absolute disaster for them. So let's not get totally. And then, you know, when the side pod exploded on FP1, when they brought out their new side pods and the thing exploded,